We are live. Welcome back, guys. We had some technical difficulties, but that does not stop the road, and the show must go on, and we have to keep catching these pips. I am your host, Hans Felix. This is the second week that we are active on these charts together. Airo Nation, I am so humbled and happy to be doing this with y'all because, as I said, and I gave my testimony last week, I remember days where I used to stay up to watch somebody else teach, and I knew there was a couple things missing. All right. I knew in my soul because I found out for sure that something was missing when every time I got in a trade and my stop loss kept getting hit. It's either that person was working hand to hand with the broker and the market makers, or something was not mathing, right? The math was not mathing, and I was getting sick of it. So I always promised myself to learn as much as possible, the right knowledge, so that way, if ever I had gotten a chance to be educating a larger crowd across the world, I want to make sure I leave an impact. I want to make sure the information I'm giving to you is life-changing, and I go back to sleep with a calm heart, knowing that I gave you some fire information that you're going to be putting to use. If you are feeling me right now in the energy that we are about to take on this London session, please drop a 7 on the chat. We need this energy because we don't want you to be falling asleep. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. You guys have made a definite course of action. You've taken some bold decisions this year, and obviously that's why you are choosing pips over sleep. All right, so somebody say pips over sleep, because that's exactly the choice that we are making tonight by being in here. If you are the first person on, well, if this is your first time on the call today, I am glad that you are excited. I am talking to you. I do see the chat going crazy. Pips over sleep, that's the slogan for tonight. Shout out to Forex Fashion, my brand. This is a brand made for traders by traders. You make sure you check that out whenever you guys get a chance. Okay. So earlier on the live stream, I was asking you guys to boast about yourself because I've been noticing the chat. It's a whole lot of pip catching going on. It is crazy. The market makers are soon going to be looking for us at any given time. And we all blame Nate because he created an amazing software that is now shortening the learning curve. And some of you guys have been in this journey with us for like a good year now. So for those who just started, let's go ahead and shout you out. Let us know how long you've been trying to learn Forex until you found the Airo community through Auvoria Prime. How long have you guys been trading? Let's see it on the chat, because I want to know my audience tonight. I want to know if it's been 6 years, 4 months, because if I'm talking in all this language, I want to make sure you guys are not lost. Okay, less than a year, 2 years, second year. Nice, 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 nice. 3 years, 3 years. Okay, 2 months. Ooh, those are the lucky ones. I wish I first started, had some kind of software like Airo, and then it's my 4th month. My goodness. Perfect. So that means you guys are on this path for good, right? You are committed. You want to be a trader. You want to be somebody who's consistent day in and day out, and you want to pass this information along, right? That was a rhetorical question. So that means it is my job to make sure that the information I give you serves you purpose for the rest of your life. So I take this as special and serious as I can possibly think, because I was given a job, and this job it means a lot to me. All right. So I'm going to start by giving you guys some more gems. I want to let you know why sometimes I don't take certain trades, even if I have Airo at my disposal. Does anybody know what liquidity is? Let me see what chat is saying real quick. Okay, we got Lamel already with the fire answers. Cool, cool, cool. All right. So I'm seeing a lot of good answers on the chat. Okay. All right. So liquidity basically means where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside. Okay, guys. So whenever you are looking at this market, I'm just gonna go ahead and put my period separators here, right? What you're not noticing at times is your eagerness to want to get in trades is also your kryptonite. I'm gonna say it again. Your eagerness to get in certain trades is also your kryptonite. I know right now somebody's like, man, he has about 2 minutes until I go to sleep because I came here to just scalp, grab something, say thank you, Hans, and go to sleep. Well, it doesn't work that way. I got to see Jackie, shout out to Jackie, catch hundreds of pips quickly, but earlier there were no setups. She tried and we didn't really catch anything, right? But is that Jackie's fault? No. The market doesn't always have the best setups, and we must learn to wait because there are certain setups that the market creates that provides a way for market makers to come back and just literally yank stop losses and pending orders left and right, leaving everybody sad. Okay. And this is why I want to make sure I'm talking about liquidity, because I can clearly see them because it's taken me years in practice. And I want you guys to see it too as I continue to make these sessions a very friendly environment, right? So we're looking at US 30, and I'm going to just do a simple drawing. And this right here is all I need sometimes to place a zone of support even through these areas where arrow is showing you where the resistance or support is. Because guys, sometimes you're in this trade expecting the best out of it, and you are like 389 points or 3,000 pips in profit, and you're not closing. And all of a sudden, the hype, the screenshots, they all die down because you just caught an L and you don't want to tell nobody because everybody else is just posting results. And you're wondering, is it greed? Is it lack of knowledge? What am I missing? Well, what if I told you plenty of times you get stopped out as well is because you are an early buyer or an early seller? Crazy, right? What if I told you plenty of times we get stopped out is because you are either an early buyer or early seller? So what they do in the agent sessions most times is they are creating confusion and kind of steadying the pace a little bit just to test your patience and allow this time for a whole bunch of traders like you and I to get in positions. And that's exactly how they're able to see where to move the market and take out everybody. And then they continue the opposite way. How many of you guys have gotten stopped out and you're just sitting here like, what happened? Why the market makers targeted me personally? I feel attacked. Why? Don't want me to feed my family, huh? Okay. Why did strategy 1, 5, 7, 11, why didn't it work? Because sometimes it's because you guys, and including myself, get stopped out. So we have to be careful how we enter trades. For instance, let's talk about what happened this morning. I noticed a lot of people were in this buy, but that was before 9:30, right? So some of y'all took the sell, which was great. But within these ranges, plenty of times you'll notice the market makers will create these pockets of liquidity create this trap or this bait, like Jackie was saying earlier, and then they take out this liquidity in the area and bounce off of the demand that we can see in green, and then they take off. They take off to the upside. What I've learned to do is wait for liquidity to accumulate so the market makers could show me their footprint. And then when price bounces and now I see a strat one, then I'll get in. Because I want to try and trade in line with the market makers and how they are setting up traps. And that usually helps me to not take too many losses, because yes, it's cool to be part of the community and show profits, but losing the profit right after is also not cool. Am I right or am I right? Let me see you guys in the chat. What's up? What's up? Am I speaking to somebody right now or no? We're keeping it real tonight. I'm not sitting here trying to, make you guys feel like, oh no. I want to talk to you guys as real traders, because earlier I asked you how long you've been at this. So we're a family, so we got to talk like a family, and then we're gonna get to the pips. By the way, it is 2:39 a.m. Typically, there's not much going on, in my opinion. We're gonna check DAX, we're gonna see what's going on, but typically, we gotta let the market marinate. Okay, guys. I promise you, when we find a good setup, we're gonna attack and we're gonna catch a bag. Okay, so even with DAX, you'll notice price typically will create these lower highs, and then our impatience and our lack of understanding sometimes get to the best of us. Yes, price bounced off of the zone, but what's going on here when we see price going bullish and bullish and bullish and bullish and gets to the zone of resistance here or supply? This area was also a pocket of liquidity where they must induce the earlier sellers. If you don't take your profit, then price takes it for you. Let me show you again. Here's another time where price clearly created an area and created these little pocket passes of liquidity to allow you and I to sit here and just stay stagnant, wait it out, and then boom, price buys, and you're getting upset, getting confused as to what's going on. And then the whole time, this was the best opportunity for you to get in that sell trade. Why? Because I'll tell you guys a secret. You ready? If you're ready, say ready on the chat. I want to see who's ready for the secret. This took me years to know. I'm glad you guys are all ears. After price sweeps liquidity, they're not going to return to that zone. So after they buy up and sweep the liquidity, if you take this sell, your stop loss is safe. So when Airo shows you this area of resistance and you have that double confirmation, feel free to get more confident in your trade selections and your execution mentality. You feel me? Because now you know your stop loss is not getting hunted, and your strat one is a bag entry that's for sure going to bring home the pips. Are you guys hearing me? I am literally debunking the myth of certain areas where it is best to place your stop loss and it is best to get in after you wait for certain things to happen in the market. And that is when liquidity gets swept. Then the market is not only going to reverse because they just took out the early positions, then they're going to just run. And these are typically the best times to get in the market and secure the bag. All right. For instance, it happened on DAX. Price pushed. And then you can see this area here was indecisive. However, when you're looking at the bottom, you can tell there was just a pocket right in here where price started going down, and some of you took this trade, which is cool, but staying long in this trade thinking it was going to keep continuing to the downside is where you lost your money. And I'm gonna tell you why now, and now you know, is because price was sweeping liquidity before they took off. And that's where the whole zero gravity theory comes from, because sometimes within the first 5 minutes of the market, like Nate says, price does go down to retest the demand, and they taking out the early participants first, and then they move. All right. So a lot of time this happens, so you must learn to wait, and I will tell you how you can wait. During the Asian session, price loves to create the scenario. I'm going to go to another chart, and I'm going to show it to you on the upside, right? So here it is. We can see this area of liquidity because price not only pushed to the upside, retraced, but went a tad bit further below to retest the demand zone, which is in green. All right, bag strategy 1, we can get in here and catch all the pips going up. But notice if I zoom, how many times can you guys see within these zones of supposed support, price sells off, then bounces, and then continues. Here it is again. Price starts to go up, and then they pull down, but right within the zone, you can see how they created that pocket of liquidity, and then you can get into the beautiful buy trade. And most times you either won't get as much drawdown or no drawdown at all. How many of you guys are feeling excited about just that tip? I don't know about you, but I hate when my stop loss gets hit. I hate it. I brush it off, but I don't like it. So if there was a way for me to know how to take better trades, I'd be more excited than I am right now, because now I know. And for those who were here last week, remember my slogan, right? When you know better, what else? Somebody got it. When you know better, you do better. So even on the way down, guys, this scenario happens quite often. I'll show you. Do you guys see how price looked like it was bullish over here? But on the real spiel of it, we see how this area was targeted, and most likely it was in Asia. Boom. Asia session gets used plenty times as the bait session. So they're accumulating people wondering, where is the market going? Where is the market going? And then they're just going to put their stop loss way up here. And then that's exactly where market makers go before they reverse to the downside. So you guys got to be real careful and wait for these scenarios to happen plenty times. And the best opportunities that this shows up in is when price is about to start London session. They're looking for Asia highs or Asia lows, before they make their move. That's why I like to wait and explain things and teach you guys during this hour to make sure that we're giving the market time to understand what's going to happen, especially since later on in New York, there's going to be a lot of volatility, and that volatility is coming from fundamental news. All right. This is why I made sure I was explaining, even though we had, terrible, terrible feed earlier, the role of central banks, because these market makers, it all makes sense now. So when you see that bag entry, you ought to be more grateful, because now we can see price bouncing to that demand zone clearly. All right. So let's go ahead and start looking for some setups. How do you guys feel about the explanation that I've given you so far? Do you feel like it was helpful? Do you feel like it still confuses you? Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. All right. Because it took me years to figure this out. Years. And now that I know better, I do better. All right, guys. So this is why I like to wait and see what's going on in these markets, because that is one of the reasons why I know how to find my sniper entries. Here's one of them. If you take a look to the right here, not to say I'm not gonna get hunted, but do you guys see this entry right here? Can you guys see it? Yesterday, I was waiting for NZDUSD, but first they had to show me this area of support. And then price started selling. But I said, if price does not go below this demand zone that Airo had highlighted, then I'm not budging. So then price pushed out and broke the structure. That's step one. I waited for step two. Price pulled down here, started playing around the zone. I said, okay, took the trade because I realized liquidity just got swept. This little pocket just got taken out. So if they've done this and did the crime for those who were expecting price to break out, it discourages you to try and even get back in. But whole time, after they do the crime, then I get in and do the time. And then I put my stop loss below the previous sweep or below the order blocks. However, I can see it, because if they've already done the crime, then they're not coming below that area. And if Airo is showing me strategy one, then I'm going to have to trust it. And that's how I took this trade. And it went for like 25 pips, but I'm still holding because I feel as if price still has more room to go. And if they take me out, they're going to take me out in profit. This is just one example of how you can get better entries, guys. And so we're going to be looking for opportunities that seem to line up with what I'm talking about. See if we can get a good trade. All right. So far, let's take a look at some of the list of opportunities that might be presented tonight. US 30 is attempting to break above this area, but I'm a little bougie. I don't know if I want to take this just yet. I'd like to see a reaction, and maybe this is a setup that's going to look better in London and New York. So we're going to keep US 30 pending just for now, but let's go ahead and check the different time frames. Somebody asked me, can you show us why you entered GJ? I got you for sure. I entered gold too, but I closed all my profits not too long ago. And someone says Nas looks like what I was just explaining. So let's check Nas real quick. All right, cool. This is why consolidation is my friend. I don't get in, but I'm waiting to see what they do from here. And big tip, guys, once you identify this range and there's like a demand zone waiting right at the bottom, I'd rather wait to see price push down and bounce, and then I'll take strat one. And then I'll put my stop loss below the previous lows, or whichever zone that I feel it can be safe enough for me to not get stopped out while the market is doing this thing. Okay, and that has helped my trading game so much. It has helped with my psychology. It has helped with my patience, because it's either one way or the highway. And if they take out my stop loss and I was prepared to lose that, some of us aren't ready to lose what we risked, and we're always thinking backwards. We're thinking how much we're going to make, not thinking about how much we're going to lose. And then when the loss happens, we're devastated. Oh my God, I guess I got to go back to work, So I'm trying to keep you guys from going through some of the things that I've gone through, okay? So someone asked me, do I look at a certain time frame to look at these pockets? I look at the 1 hour. I look at the 30-minute, the M15, the M5, because if I can see the range of the Asian session, then that's all that matters. All right. Oh my God. I guess I gotta go back to work. It's not fun. It's not fun. All right. So we're gonna hold on and see what happens here, because guys, look, it's the 15-minute time frame, and Nas is trying to push towards resistance. That's not typically what I want to get in. All right. So that's not how I want to get in. So someone had asked me earlier, like, why did I get in GJ? Shoot, you tell me. It was the same setup, and I had close to a lot of my partials. But at the time I was looking at, GJ was the same situation. The day prior, I saw that price use the zone, and a few hours later, they dropped down into this area of demand, bounced 3 times, and by the time I saw it, they were already pushing. So I had gotten in my entries here, and my buy limit, for some reason, they missed it by half a pip. I'm not gonna get mad, but yeah. So that's what happened. All right, that's what happened. So, however, I believe that GJ has potential to the upside, as the actual London session is underway. All right, but a really good stop loss would have to be below this low, and that's about 74 pips. So what we're gonna have to do is, in this session, we're gonna see if price sweeps first before buying, or breaks the structure, because there's 2 ways this can go. Price takes off, and you'll feel like you missed it, but guess what? Price will come back and retrace, and when it retraces, then we'll get into the buy for GJ, because GJ is definitely on a bullish run. And I also like to take a look at these pairs on a naked chart, just so I can see more out of the clarity. So here it was. I saw price did this, and when they pushed 6 a.m., came back 10 a.m., I knew it was time for me to get in this buy, and I took it right here. I had put my stop loss below this range right here, and at the present time that it was trading, and I was up in profit 40 pips. All right, so let's see. Oh geez, let's keep it right in here like that. We put a stop loss below this range here. That might be good, but so far, let's see. Gotta make sure If we do make it a slight decision in taking this buy, I want to make sure we get in real good. All right, guys. Seems like it was a very small pocket in this zone here. Should we take the buy? Should we take the buy? Good. Time to take the buy. It's almost 3. Okay, let's bring it back in here. Arrow is indeed showing that price is bullish and bounced off of the zone. So let's see. Let's wait a few minutes. If some of you early birds want to get into this buy, typically then you'd have to put your stop loss right below this. What is this? The 15-minute order block right here. So no need to be eager. Let's go ahead and give it a little bit of time. All right, guys. Let's check and see what's going on here. And the crowd's favorite, DAX. I didn't forget about DAX. This looks like a sell to me, guys. Definitely looks like a sell to me. I'm going to keep my stop loss right above these highs, and then we'll see what happens. By the way, I am not afraid to take an L in front of you guys because it's part of the game. So you'll never see me sit here and be like, oh my God. Oh my God, guys, I'm so ashamed I took an L. We all took L's. Indoors, outdoors, in front of people, in our own private quarters. It happens. It happens. I'm not gonna be too mad if this is what happens. All right. But keep in mind, guys, trading the markets does carry high risk. So I am not sending out financial advice. Do know that if you take a trade during our calls, please trade responsibly because some of those trades they might go the right way and they might just flip. But you must know we will always make some and we'll always lose some. Okay. So let's go ahead and sit back and watch and see what happens from here on out. Let me go ahead and also check in. Oh man. All right. This definitely looks like it's more bullish. I will honestly say this, guys. Sometimes the colors confuse me when I'm trading the arrow. So that's why I like to go up in here and check and see what things are looking on this end. All right, so looks like we actually do have more of an impulsive buy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait and see if price breaks. And not only that, I want to see this resistance get taken out. I want to see them erase that. Okay. In the meantime, GJ, what's up, Arrow? All right, so we got to buy. We got a strat one. Got a strat one. Cool. All right. That looks good. That looks good. All right, let's get back to DAX real quick. Oh yeah, that's what we want. This is what we want. So now this is what we wanted to see here. It's what the people wanted to see. All right, I feel very confident about this one. Gonna let it ride. Gonna let it ride for sure. That breakout is looking really good. And we are about to take off, guys. Definitely like this one for DAX. And truth be told, let me also get in my live account. Trust and believe what you see here is my demo account, but this is for educational purposes. So let me go ahead and get it on my live account on my phone. And we are already 160 pips running. I like that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, take this out. Erase this supply zone. Consa. Yep. I like how this is looking. Let me check real quick over here. So let me make sure I check some things off. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, price definitely has some business to deal with up here into these order blocks and imbalance of that candle. So we potentially could see DAX push all the way up here for about 1,500 pips. I have no doubt in my mind that this is what the tone is going to be. Don't want to sound overly confident, but I know it gets set up when I see it. Okay. I'm definitely in the mood for some pips. Hmm. Real good. Okay, and then NZDUSD is also showing me what I was looking for this whole time. And that is another entry that I will be getting in. And my stop loss is going to be below the sweep right here. Let's see, he is going to be into these zones. And I'm going to target the liquidity that's right above into these areas. Because the market makers, the way the algorithm works is they go looking for the stop losses and the pending orders that are right above resistance 9 times out of 10. Oh, dude. All right. So how many pips is that going to be? It seems like in this zone here, it's going to be about 17 pips. Anyways, we'll get back to NZDUSD. Let's go check and see how DAX is doing. Because I know we up some pips, ain't it? Oh, yeah. We already up like 360 of them things. I told you we get something. What time frame did I take that on? Thank you. Before I answer that question, please, if you could just change your name from the manufacturer's name of iPhone to the name that I should address you by, I would really appreciate it. Now, the time frame that I entered which trade, because I got in DAX and we are in this thing. Definitely a nice little bag we're gonna catch tonight. And on top of that, I got in NZDUSD's buy because I can see the future and it looks bright. Price created a higher high here, higher low, and it looks like we are up to some really good momentum. All right, Lamel want to say something. Go ahead and unmute yourself, sir. You have the mic.
To answer that question about the time frame, yes, for entries, but I would like to say if you got to know exactly why you entered the trade, and you have to know your confluence. So it's not really about the entry, it's really about the confluence and the reasoning in your why and the confluence. Everybody's confusing with the, oh, what time frame did you do it and whatnot. It's always reasoning behind it. That's what I want to say.
Thank
That's
you.
what I learned.
Thank you. So I didn't answer that question on purpose yet, but yes, it doesn't always matter what time frame once you understand the momentum of price action. Because let's get back in here. I saw the breakout momentum that was coming on the M15, but if I go to the 1 hour, we can see that all this selling that happened yesterday needs a correction back to the upside. Now, even though for some reason, and this happens, for some reason, the supply zone has not shown itself yet. If I go to the M30, yep, there it is. As we understand price action, we know that price has an interest in going back into areas where there's nothing but sells that happen on the left side. So then it shouldn't be as surprising for us to see it buying in an area where we need balance. Okay, we need balance because wherever there's sells, there has to be some buys to cover those areas because the market is made up of buyers and sellers. Oh, Gloria. Hey, Gloria. So we are up 430 pips. I want to scream, but my wife is sleeping. So we'll just keep it like quiet. We'll just be like, yay. Or you guys could just be a little loud on the chat, you know? Let's not get too hasty though. Let's not get too hasty. All right. As a trader, you have to control your emotions even when you're celebrating. You got to keep yourself calm and collected. So yeah, I do like to go down into like a smaller time frame for entry, right? But again, it's about the steps, about the steps. You see price pushed past this previous area, that's price breaking that previous structure. To me, I recognize and identify that as step one. Then price pulls back, and it's either I make that decision to commit and have a stop loss below the previous low, or I sometimes want to wait and see if they're going to sweep, right? It is still 311, but the way I'm seeing price move, it seems like we are pretty good because look, even on the 5-minute, you can see the price action is showing the same thing on a minor scale, and putting my stop loss below here or below here doesn't seem to bother me much. But I will say though, all these trades, I am not planning on being in these trades by 8 a.m. because it's going to be a different tone, especially since this later today is going to be interest rate. Interest rate news is coming, and there's a lot of volatility that's going to come back just to take out early positions. So I'm definitely in here for, whoo, good Lord. Speak of the pips. Dang, I hope I'm not the only one in this 600 pip banger. I hope some of you guys are in this too. Woo-wee. And it just keeps on pushing. A solid candle right there. So speaking of Jay Powell, who is Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve Chair, he will be talking about interest rate hikes, supposedly. However, all of this is necessary, guys, to correct the markets since we've been printing so much dollars. The Fed has been printing so much paper money that the dollar is literally weakening by the day. However, we have to hype up these markets with false manipulation and, you know, things that are backed by just influence of the United States in order for them to continue balancing what is not balanced. So it is a wild market. It's a very wild market. We will see how price shows the interest rate to be the exact same when the forecast happens and the news comes out. But still, we're going to see a lot of volatility. And again, if I'm looking at the DXY, which is the dollar index, we can see on a technical side, price had swept all under here to make it to this demand zone area, right? And then from here, since January 14th, price created a higher high. Right, guys. Boom, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And believe it or not, we're still an uptrend, and most likely interest rates news will take this up to an area that looks like this. So we can get back to last month's supply. You remember earlier I was telling you guys, it's very funny to me that the market does all this stuff, and then when it comes right back down to it, price finds a way to return to zones of supply and demand with the help of news from like where they were about a month ago, right? About 2 months ago or 6 months ago. And with the help of news, price pushes the market where it needs to go. For those same reasons that we were explaining earlier about the role of central banks and the Federal Reserve. Okay, so I'm very sorry that you guys weren't able to hear things as clearly, but let's get back and see how things are doing, baby. Woo-wee. And yet some people don't want to pull up to my calls just because they just don't know. They don't know what they missing, huh, guys? I don't know what they missing. All right, so someone says, sheesh, look at US 30. Hi, US 30. Didn't like you, really. But now we're looking at it. We can see that this was the zone they were using. It wasn't clear, so we didn't take it. So shout out to that. All right, let's go ahead and check this out. I like those pips. Someone is on demo and is over 600 pips. I love it. It might go to the zone. It might, shoot, it will. And we hope it does because we are in it to win it. We are definitely in it to win it. So this is the first impulse, and it's only 3:17 in the morning. So for those of you guys who are meeting your goals, I wouldn't say don't be greedy, but you might want to close some partials, close some partials and let the rest continue. Because at this point now, you might want to feel fearful, but you shouldn't. Price has a reason to be going back up here. And I need to add period separators. just so I can see what's going on. I love my period separators because it separates the 24-hour period of the market. So now I'm very well able to see New York from the 24th. It was an Asia session here. Boom. All this area, wherever there's resistance, they are literally, the algorithm is literally going to be looking for these areas of resistance. And we also have this order block right in here. You guys see the up candle that brought the market all the way down here? Right in here. Right there, right there, right there, right there. This is where I'm expecting the market to go. And that is about another, what? Another 1,200 pips. I'm definitely in the mood to see it get there. So I'm gonna pull my TP and put it right in here. And I'll be waiting for it to get there. And when it does, we're gonna celebrate because then that means we'll be catching about 1,700 pips when it gets there. How do you do these blue boxes so I can edit my MT4 zones? So watch my mouse, ladies and gentlemen. You go to insert right here because we will be inserting a shape, right? And for sure, shout out to those who are on the funded accounts. I am too. I'm just being very disciplined, and I met my goal for the day yesterday. So I'm not really too pressed. So yeah, you go to insert, shapes, rectangle. When you do that, you click and drag, and yeah, let it go, and that's it. Okay, double click, right click. Trying to delete, guys. Help. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. There we go. Rectangle properties. We'll just delete. I'll delete. Okay. So let's go ahead and check on some other pairs because I know some things are busting. Oh yeah, yeah.
Hey, no, I know how to do that, but I be seeing Nate do them shapes without going to the insert tab. That's all I was asking.
Oh yeah. Well, Nate's a magician. We can't all be like Nate, you know. So let's be ourselves. Yeah, it's on insert and then shapes and then rectangle.
Yeah, I knew that, but I thought it was like I thought she was doing it effortlessly. I'm like, how do people just switch like that? Because I gotta switch back and forth from trading people. I got.
Yeah. I don't know, bro. That's all. That's how I know how to do it. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So boom, NZDUSD is taking off as I expected. We are 830 pips in profit. Good God. Oh, Martin wanted to see me in action. Here you go, Martin. Who's excited to be here at 3 a.m. right now, catching some pips? This is exactly why we come here and we choose pips over sleep. And then we back at it again in New York. But don't lose what you gain. All right. Tomorrow I'll be talking about like execution mentality and trade management because that's something I had struggled with for a long time, and it's been better, and I just love it. This trading journey, man, it's amazing. It's amazing. You get to fail and get back up again, and fail and get back up again. You know, it's crazy. So now this is what we're gonna do, guys. We're gonna start taking some screenshots and showing to the guys what's really going on here while they're sleeping. Show them what they're missing too. All right. Let me escape out of that real quick. Bobby Will, what's up, Bobby? What's up, my guy? Dang, so if Bobby Will's in here, then I wonder if he knows it. Nah, he probably asleep. The legend Bobby Will. What's up, my guy? Up all kinds of pips. If you guys don't realize by now, I'm a trip. I love to have fun, and I like to just keep it cool and keep the vibe fun. All right. Life is too short. It's got some pips. All right. Oh, dang. We're up 1,000 pips for real on DAX. It just means we're up 100 points. Still a blessing. At this point, guys, yeah, it's either you wait for it to get to that resistance or you start closing partials. Either way, can't be mad at you. Still a good day. Still a good day. Mad pips. All right, let me check GJ real quick, y'all. Oh, dang. I knew it was going to take off. Oh, oh, oh boy. Let me check my other accounts. Oh my God. Oh man, look at NU. It's a pip galore type of night. Jesus, thank you. Now, why would I give up on this skill set? Huh? Somebody tell me, why would I give up on this skill set? 154.08. Mm-hmm. And y'all notice my TP is right here, right? Right where the order block had fallen yesterday. So that's why my TP is at 154.30 for GBPJPY. Yeah. Still salty about that buy limit though, but hey, it is what it is. I bet we waking up the chat now. Yeah. Shout out to Marco. Shout out to Versatility is Key. Shout out to Captain Fortune. Shout out to Rudy. And I'm purposely shouting some people out because, you know, you need to be acknowledged for sticking with me, staying up late with catching pips. You know, we're family. And I appreciate the support of you guys coming in because, again, there's about 2,000 people on the group. Some fell off, some are iffy, some didn't wake up, but we got to motivate each other. If they see this positive momentum, guess what? Next call, it's not just going to be 50 people, it's going to be 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 500. And we're going to keep the same vibe. All right. It's the same vibe. We started off with some knowledge, we waited, and we got rewarded, and we're having fun. That's what it's all about. Right. So let's go ahead and start monitoring some things because 3:30 is underway. And I guarantee you it's going to be a little pullback. Gonna be a little pullback somehow. I like my 1,000 pips, guys. I don't know about you, but this ain't greed. This is just there's obviously a reason why prices still continue. Decisions. All right, let's see. Let's go to the M5. What y'all think? I'm gonna let y'all decide. Shout out to Jim Cody, up 2,800 pips on a live account. My God. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm glad I did not disappoint. Someone said, let's check the M1 for any order blocks. To be honest, Mari, on the M1, and based on how price is pushing right now, I'm not going to let that little noise stop me. In fact, I'm going to let this thing play out because, you know, I trust this one because it has to reach at least 90% of that move. It ain't over yet. You're right. But for London, I'll take this 1,000 pips. Thank you. Because once they bounce off here, something like that, or they do push higher, it's cool. But yeah. Oh boy. Overbought on most time frames. Yeah. So I did not use strategy 11 for a specific reason tonight. I just wanted to show you you can use all of the strategies, but you also need to be uh, cognizant of the market's tendencies without the overbought and oversold. Because sometimes the market is not overbought. Sometimes it's not oversold, you know? So you have to understand behaviors of like where things are most likely going to change it up a little bit, you know? So I wouldn't call it being risky. Is this how you really level up in understanding and trusting your analysis and seeing the reasoning behind certain things, and then of course like indications that give you extra information are helpful, but I also like to just keep things simple too. So we'll add strategy 11 to it, or I mean we'll add binary ATM next time, but we'll keep it like that. I hope that was helpful, though. And I hope you still in that trade. And what time frame are you seeing that? Oh, you said most time frames, such as it is 329. Okay, 329. That candle's still bullish to me. 1,100 pips. Ah, okay. Well, price has to make it to that destination. Let's check trading view real quick. You guys know I love my trading view. Dang, you got. I knew you was gonna sell off like that. Oh yeah, juicy, juicy. All right, I like this because the market makers have to get to a point where they break even before they sell off. So we'll see. Somebody said I am out. That's 700 pips. Troy caught that. Of course, Troy. Of course, Troy caught that. Of course. I'm not surprised. I've been watching, man. You've been putting in the work. Good job, Karina. That FOMC. For sure, for sure. That's probably in New York. That half of my 1% back in New York. You'll be back from New York. Good job, good job, good job. Great. Real good. Good job, you know. How are you doing? How are you doing? Price is pulling. See, the same thing is gonna happen with gold. I was in this trade in New York at 1840. Yeah. I was in this trade at 1841 and price pushed this morning. I caught this whole thing, but there's still some pips to go around. I am definitely expecting to see gold get to 1845 and break and take out the liquidity from up here. Um, that's how I'm seeing some things. So FOMC is definitely gonna give us some more bullish momentum for gold. I'm calling it out right now, but price will pull back nasty before they take off. I know that for a fact. All right, I think I want to close just for the sake of closing. Those partials. He's doing well, doing very well. Oh yeah, US 30 is in a bullish OB. I believe it.
Typo. This is bearish order
Bearish, I
block.
thought so, but right now they're more interested in taking out liquidity from wherever. Let me show you a lot more clearly. USD rates. Okay. All right. So in the words of Oprah, you getting taken out. Yeah, that's it. So Price is making all that effort to get to this bearish order block. I think that's the one you're probably referring to, right? So once Price does
But that's
make
the
it
next
here,
level. That's the next level. Right now we're in a bearish order block right here. As you, I can see this. I
oh,
got
you're
the
talking
same thing.
about this.
Yeah, that's a little bearish order block right here.
Yeah,
But
we'll
I'm
break
pretty
through that.
sure we're gonna get to the top of. There's another daily bearish order block that we end up to 34,733. That's the top of my bearish daily order block.
Okay, I'm not mad at it. Oh, yeah.
And then that
733.
balancement
Ooh,
that happened
good.
last week.
That works. Yeah, I'm not mad at it at all. This is why, like, I pulled up to the Asian session, but I did not want any smoke. I was not trying to. So as you guys can see, I'm mindlessly mark charts because it is just a good practice. It's a good habit, and it really helps you to be more proficient. I'm glad I took this GJPY because it's so funny. The sweep was very, very subtle, but I know you guys can see it, right? Right in here. If you can see the sweep, go ahead and write sweep on the charts. I want to make sure you guys understood this concept tonight. Why I like to take good sniper entries based off of this little understanding and strategy right here. Boom, this was at midnight. Wow, that's crazy. Boom, price broke structure right here. Broke free structure. Retrace, retrace, retrace. Took out early buyers. Boom, boom, and then stop loss right here. 6, 7 pips, right? 7 pips. And boom, price took off for 31 pips. That's why we took that buy. Shout out to you if you took that buy. I'm not gonna lie, they almost had us at the first half though. Almost had us. But yeah. That's very, very, very nice. DAX is up 1305. My God, my God. My God, Bobby Will said too much momentum for US 30 to stop, and that's a fact. Katrine, it was a pleasure. Approaching a resistance zone on the F5. Yeah, I bet it is. Yep, it is. Shout out to Martin for seeing this. Okay, I think safe to say we can close our trades now, or we can close decks. I think we showed we outproved ourselves. Oh. All right. I'm close. That's good. We milked it. We milked it. We milked it good enough. All right. I bet Dax don't care about that zone at all. I bet it don't. I bet it don't, big fella. That definitely look like it has some more room to go. But for the sake of this call, I want to make sure everybody, at least had a good, secure profit experience. Oh yeah, you better hop on this religion, man. Liquidity snatched. Yes, sirski. I'm not guaranteeing we always gonna catch fish, but we definitely gonna have some fun, and you gonna learn something. All right. We had 57 people on the call today. That felt a lot better. You see, energy is respected everywhere in this realm, on this planet, and on anywhere else that exists, right? We were 26 people in this call in the beginning. And I told you I was not, I wasn't putting up with that. I told y'all. And you guys delivered. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Too much sauce, too much gems, too much knowledge being dropped in it. We all know most people don't watch these these recorded sessions anyway. So might as well just come in here, have some fun, catch some tips, and learn. Right. All right. Let's check GJ. I'm up 54 pips. Nice. Very nice. Oh yeah, we're almost close to TP, baby. Guys, you might as well just retire this week after tonight. How many pips do we have left till TP is about 12 pips? Yeah, 12 pips. Oh, about 15 pips. I'll let that one do its thing. Nice. So we call pips on indices, we call pips on regular currencies, and we did it with style. We did it with style. I love it. Yep. And you, 29 pips on one position, and then the other position, I'm up 4 pips. It all adds up though. 90 pips, 90 pips, 90 currency pips. I had fun, guys. Any questions? Any other pairs y'all want to take a look at real quick before we end this call? Because we came. Tesla has earnings tomorrow. That's a good one. Let's check the stocks real quick then, shall we? Oh, okay. We got demand zone right here. Oh, we back in that zone. I really, man. Hmm. It's thirsty.
Another gem. Yeah, I want to stay tuned and understand these earnings calls will affect the market as well. Like your FANG stocks, your Facebook, your Apple, your Google, Tesla, all that will affect your indices as well. So usually when you have the big tech companies or the big gigantic companies having
It's
earnings call, it
100.
can move the market.
Yep. then
So
Nas is
that's why I just
definitely
want
gonna
to
be
say that
bullish
too.
too. Yeah, Nas is definitely gonna be bullish if the earnings show true.
But
So
according to the earnings, basically, because I'm very huge on fundamentals, a lot of these earnings were decent beats, but the market still was tanking. Like today was, I believe, was Microsoft. I'm a little tired, so I didn't sleep yet since yesterday. I think it was Microsoft, and wasn't really a strong beat. So Microsoft dropped about 6% after the market closed. So that's why you seen the indices dropped a little bit, but it still went back up.
right. So let's see how things play out. Let's see how things play out. I'm expecting to see maybe this area get swept. This is an order block right here. Let's see what Microsoft does. Microsoft is a solid stock because it's dividends and it's a steady blue chip stock. So it's definitely a good experience. All right. Yeah, so I think we're gonna stop right here, guys. Make sure you show your gratitude and your appreciation on the chat. I will appreciate it. I definitely feed off of energy. I'm not even gonna hide it, guys. I hope I served you well tonight. I will see you tomorrow night, same time. Peace, love, and blessings. Someone said merci. De rien. Pas de problème. C'est mon plaisir. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Karina, Stephanie, Yon, Mark, Bobby, Will, Sanja, Daniel, Ramel, Karina, Ron, everybody else, Martin. Yeah, I appreciated everybody who was on this call. Peace, love, and blessings, guys. See you tomorrow.